What is up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Robotan, bringing you news, reviews and how-tos on the tech that will make your life easier. There's always a gadget out there to replace human effort, and I'm going to find it. If that's your sort of thing, subscribe to my channel for a regular dose of easy listening and smart living. Let's roll. So today, Google announced that the absolute killer feature of Google Photos is going to end next year. The death of unlimited storage for your photos and videos. Sure, the service has all sorts of other great features like adjusting your photos automatically, being able to auto tag, using image recognition, but the unlimited storage was the one feature that made it so easy to recommend, no, insist that others install it too. The change means that you get 15 gigabytes of storage for free across all the services using your Google account. So that's Gmail, Photos, Google Docs, and any other services that you do use. It was one less thing to worry about. Whether you were running out of space, lost or damaged your phone, or worse still, had it stolen, you could rely on Google Photos to have backed up everything on the cloud without you having to do anything extra. Backing up is just one of those things that we either don't do or just don't think about. So automatic solutions like Google Photos or iCloud really have become a lifesaver for many people. How easy is it to take a photo nowadays? For most of us, our mobile phone is the main camera, or possibly the only camera that we ever use. It's certainly the one closest to us at any given time. And they've gotten so good and easy to use that we can really rely on them to take great photos and video. As a result, we're taking a lot more photos and videos than ever before. But low light shots can still be quite tricky, even with the better sensors, image stabilization, all the night modes on offer, because there's one part of the equation that hasn't evolved as much, and that's us, or whatever we're pointing at. And when that subject is important to us, we want to get that perfect shot. Sometimes we get all the time in the world to compose that shot, get the framing just right, tweak the lighting, dictate to our subject exactly the pose we want them to strike. But most of the time, we're going to miss that shot if we don't whip out our phone and just start snapping. Usually, the camera auto settings will get it right, and one of those shots will be perfect, or just good enough. But wait a sec. You see what just happened? You see why the end of free unlimited Google Photo storage is going to hurt? How many photos did you take to get the picture you're happy with? 5, 6, 10? Did you and ah about which one out of the top 2 or 3 was the best, and then just decide to keep all of them? Admit it, you kept all of them. You couldn't decide, it was too difficult, you didn't have the time, you just put your phone back in your pocket and walked away. Hey, I do it too, and why not? Who's got time to sift through all those photos? Besides, it's free. Don't stress about it. Just sit back and relax. Oh wait. Before today, that was fine. You could just get on with your day. But things are different now. You're going to have to adjust. Or do you? First of all, don't panic. Okay, maybe panic just a little bit. Get it out of your system. And then let's talk about your options. You do have some, and the right one is really going to depend on your circumstances. The path of absolutely least resistance is to do nothing. Don't worry about it, it will be fine. Just bury your head in the sand. That could work. The change doesn't come into effect until June the 1st next year, so you've got time. And, importantly, all the photos and videos you do take up to that point don't get taken from your allowance. But don't forget that those photos are saved as high quality, which I think means 15 megapixels, and the videos are saved as full HD. So how long have you got after June the 1st? When are you going to run out of storage? Helpfully, Google actually gives you an estimate for this. Just head over to photos.google.com/storage and you can see how much space you've got left and how long Google thinks that will last you. So Google, how long have I got? Okay, so not that long. And I don't even take that many photos or videos. How long have you got? Let me know in the comments below. If you've been using Google services for years, then that estimate is probably fairly accurate given the amount of data that Google holds on us and processes. With the numbers on that page, you might also be able to predict your longer term storage needs. Let's do some math. So I've got 5 gigs of storage remaining, and Google reckons that will last me 8 months. The average human life expectancy for us Brits is about 79.9 years. So I've got about 40 9 years or so left. So 5 divided by 0.75 multiplied by 49. If you struggled with where that calculation came from, then hit the like button because reasons, and subscribe to my channel for more reasons, and maybe a quick tutorial on math. So working that out, I need about 327 gigabytes to cover me for the remainder of my existence on this planet. Less than half a terabyte to encapsulate my whole life. Midlife crisis aside, maybe you can work out how much storage you'll need in a lifetime. Just put your age into this calculation here. And let me know what it is in the comments below. Now, it is a very rough estimate because your storage needs will change over your lifetime. But let's take a look at what's on offer. So let's start by sticking with Google. They offer their Google One service. That's going to be extremely convenient for a lot of people who are on Android devices, or if you're heavily into Google services. The great thing about Google One is that it will collate all your phone settings, apps, data, messages, contacts, photos, all into one place where you can check things out. So from your point of view, there won't be much to do, apart from just signing up and paying for it. That's pretty easy, huh? How much? Let's take a look. So what would work for me? We've got 100 gigabytes for £1.59 per month, $2 a month in the US, 200 gigabytes for £2.49 a month, $3 a month, and then it jumps to, 2 terabytes for £7.99 a month, which is $10 in the US. So taking into account my lifetime storage number, I can probably stay on that 100 gigabyte plan for the next 15 years before switching to 200 gigabytes. And looking at the yearly pricing versus monthly pricing, you get 2 months free by paying every year. So there is a clear advantage for Android users here. All your settings data, app data, contacts, messaging, as well as obviously photos, get stored automatically. That allowance can also be shared with family members. One thing to note is that the photos and videos can be stored at their original resolution, but you'd have to think about whether you want to do that because that's really going to eat into your storage and you'll be upgrading plans pretty quickly. So pricing's not terrible, and you can probably stay on that lowest price plan for the next 5 to 10 years before you need to upgrade. It's all integrated into the phone if you're an Android user, and so probably sticking with Google is the path of least resistance here. You can get all these Google apps on iOS too, but you'll have to set that up. It's all fairly straightforward, but you may end up having to move all of your current data from iCloud over to the Google services, or you may end up paying for both iCloud and Google One. As we'll see later on, if you're an iPhone user, it's probably best to just stick with iCloud. Okay, so let's take a look at some other options. How about Microsoft OneDrive? Well, they have a couple of different plans at different price points, starting with their free account, which is 5 gigabytes, and to use it, you'll need to install and set up the OneDrive app on your phone. Bear in mind, that's not going to back up your phone settings or texts, although it can back up files from folders you've asked it to. If you're a Windows 10 user, OneDrive is already part of that operating system, but Mac users will need to install the app and sign in. With this version, you don't get to install the Microsoft Office apps, but you can still use them from the web browser. The next step up costs £2 per month, and for that you get 100 gigabytes of storage. Everything else stays the same. After that, the price jumps to £6 a month or £60 for the year for the personal 365 plan. On this plan, you get 1 terabyte of storage and the ability to install the Office apps on all your devices. Those are the main benefits that I can see, but there are others that relate to sharing, security, and other kind of office and business related features. The link's in the description below if you want to take a closer look. So finally, there's the family plan, which is £8 a month or £80 for the year. You get all the same perks as the personal plan, but you get to share it with 5 other members, each of whom gets 1 terabyte to use. And no, you can't just hog all of that data storage for yourself. So these last 2 plans are probably quite handy if you do need those Office apps and need to be able to install them on all your various devices. It's available on iOS, Android, Mac, and obviously Windows. But apart from backing up photos, the more phone-specific features aren't really there. So, moving on to iCloud, And this is probably the easiest option for iPhone, iPad, or Apple computer users. In fact, a lot of iPhone users might not even be affected by this whole change in Google Photos. If you are, does it make sense to move back to iCloud? The backup features are really tightly integrated into the user interface and operating system, so backing up really is very straightforward. And that's backup of your phone contacts, app data, settings, photos, all of which means if something were to happen to your phone, you could pretty much get a new device and pick up where you left off. The free plan gives you 5 gigabytes, but I think we're way beyond that now. Paid plans start at 50 gigabytes for 79 pence in the UK or $1 a month in the US. The next step up is 200 gigabytes, which comes in at £2.49 a month in the UK or $3 a month in the US. And then you get a 2 terabyte plan, which comes in at £7 a month or about $10 a month. Apple isn't offering a reduced rate for paying yearly, but essentially the pricing is pretty much all the same. It's almost as if everyone wants you just to stay exactly where you are. With these prices all being so similar, you really have to ask yourself whether it's even worth it to move from one service to another, given the amount of hassle that's going to bring. I think it also starts to raise some questions about how locked in users get once they choose to go down the route of Apple or Android. That lock-in grows stronger over time as you accumulate more and more data with a particular service. I guess it makes me also wonder how other cloud providers are even going to get into this market unless there's a very specialized need like having to share really huge files or all sorts of specialized office needs. Amazon may be the exception to this. They offer free unlimited photo storage as part of their Prime subscription. But then of course Amazon is also offering a range of other perks as part of that subscription. Really, I think it's boiling down to convenience rather than cost, and perhaps most people end up paying for one or two services instead. Maybe they're digital taxes none of us can avoid. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is there a better way? Is there a cheaper, more convenient way? Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video or found it useful, please like it and subscribe for your regular dose of easy listening and smart living. I'd love to see you in the next one.